What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and in this video, I'm going to tell you about the craziest damn police chase I have ever heard about. And you know, that's saying a lot considering the fact that I myself have been chased by the police many a time and have also taken some pretty drastic measures in an attempt just to get away. I've personally gone as far as diving into swamps, painting my face with mud like a Navy SEAL so those police spotlights can't see me. And I've also covered my entire body up in brush and overgrown grass, hoping that those police and also canines don't find me. What was that? Shh, the police are looking for me. And I also need to throw this in there real quick. Every one of those things that I just mentioned that I did myself absolutely worked, and I got away. At least temporarily got away. But even with all of these things that I've done and even crazier things that I know of other people doing themselves, I have never heard of a more crazy attempt to get away from the police than this story that I'm about to tell you about right now that just happened a few days ago in old Westwood, Massachusetts. Allow me to introduce you to 26-year-old Jose Jimenez, who just a few days ago was arrested after being in a police chase where he tried to get away in absolutely the craziest fashion I've ever heard about in my life. Jose's story begins with a traffic stop where he's being pulled over by a state trooper. And I'm not exactly sure why he's being pulled over, but what I do know is that when he is pulled over, he's just not going for this, and he then decides it's time to run. And while attempting to flee from the state trooper, he runs over the foot of that officer who had him pulled over. You just ran over my fucking foot. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this video. So Jose flees from the state trooper, runs over his foot, and guess what? He gets away. But like 99.99% of the time that you try to run from the police, you are going to end up getting caught. And that would be exactly what happens to old Jose Jimenez a few days later when another police officer spots him driving in a car, and then it's this officer who then attempts to pull him over as well. But if we haven't learned but one thing about this guy Jose thus far, that is that he's just not gonna be pulled over. And for the second time in probably as many days, old Jose Jimenez is being chased by the law. So Jose's now being chased for the second time, and it's while he's being chased this time that he decides he's gonna do whatever it takes to get away. And it won't be any diving into the swamps or painting his face with mud like a Navy SEAL or burying his entire body with brush and overgrown grass like I've done. No, old Jose decides to take a completely different approach to this escape attempt. And what exactly he does is first abandon the car that these police are chasing him in, and is then able to somehow get away enough to then be able to walk into an electronics store and ask the people working in there if he can fill out an application. And you know, I have to say this, not only is this the craziest attempt effort I've ever heard of in my life to escape from the police that are chasing you, but it just might actually be one of the smartest. It probably would be the smartest if this had actually worked. But another crazy thing to mention about this is, for a short little while, this does actually work. Because when Jose walks into this electronics store, asks for an application, they give him one right there, he fills it out, and then because he looks as cool as a cucumber, not sweating, and also wearing a nice clean shirt, the store manager decides that he's then gonna interview Jose back in his office. Forget what you wrote on this application. That clean shirt you're wearing right there, let's take this back to my office. We're gonna give you an interview right now. And you know, this guy Jose, he's got to have nerves of absolute steel to be able to maintain his composure, knowing all the while that there is a freaking manhunt underway right now where all of these police are looking for you. Hey boss, how about that interview? And it's while this interview is taking place and police helicopters are supposedly buzzing all around this electronics store that this other manager gets kind of suspicious. He notices all of the police and police helicopters outside looking for somebody, and he also notices that there's this Hispanic fella inside his establishment filling out a job application and getting interviewed right then and there. So this other manager goes outside, talks to the police, finds out that they are in fact looking for a Hispanic fella then tells the police that there's a guy just like that inside getting interviewed right now. And it's then that the police show this other manager a picture of who they're looking for. This other manager then confirms that is exactly who was inside being interviewed. And from there, the police go inside, arrest Jose right in the midst of that interview. You know, I really wonder if he was about to get that job. And the police tell old Jose as they're cuffing him and taking him out of the establishment, as the manager who talked to the police and also the manager who interviewed him are seen on camera high-fiving each other like, yeah, we just got us a bad guy. But it's during this time that the police tell Jose, you really thought you were going to get away, didn't you? And you know, to be honest with you, what if the other manager never went outside and talked to the police and confirmed that they had a Hispanic dude in there being interviewed right then and there? Jose probably would have gotten the job and the police probably wouldn't have even caught him. I mean, that's just my take on the whole situation. Or maybe Jose would have gotten the job and then walked right out into being arrested. And that would probably break any world record for the fastest hired to fired time period ever to take place in recorded history. Congratulations, Jose, you're starting tomorrow. I really like you, man. You're really well composed, cool as a cucumber, nice clean shirt. I can't emphasize that enough about you, fella. You got a nice clean shirt right there. Thank you very much, Mr. Electronics Manager. I'll see you tomorrow. Freeze, get on the goddamn ground! I just got the job, though. They just hired me in there. Why you police always fucking with the brother? I mean, there really is no telling how all of this would have played out if this other manager had never walked outside to talk to the police. Jose is now sitting in jail facing assault and battery charges as well as failure to stop. He also has a bail amount of $250,000, which 10% of that, by the way, which would be needed for him to get out, is a whopping 25 grand. That's a lot of damn money. And though I'm not certain as to whether or not Jose will be bonded out of jail, I am curious to know how everything will play out for him when he goes to court. Because if I were him, I would definitely be trying to tell that judge, Your Honor, yes, the police were chasing me. But for the love of God, Judge, but for the love of God, when they caught me, I was at least trying to get a job. And you know, that electronics store manager, he was about to hire me right then and there until them pesky rascal police officers came in there and arrested me. I wonder if they made it to the part of the interview where they ask you, have you ever been convicted of a felony? And maybe right then and there, boom, the police walked in. Not yet he hasn't, but he damn sure is about to. Pretty crazy situation to think about, and I do hope that you guys enjoyed this story. And if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you think of this police chase that I consider the craziest damn police chase I've ever heard about. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace!